So here we're going to look at factorizing quadratics when x squared has a coefficient. Now a coefficient basically is a number in front of the x squared. So in this case, where we're seeing factorize 6x squared plus 13x plus 6, 6 is in front of the x squared. Okay. Now these are higher type questions because they're a little bit more involved, but there is a technique on how to do these. Okay. Before I start, if you want to give this a go, you can pause the video now and then we'll get right into it. All right, so if you gave it a go, well done. If not, that's fine. So basically, to get this done, all you're going to do first, you're going to start off by multiplying these sixes together. Okay, you're going to multiply these sixes together, 6 times 6. And 6 times 6 gives you 36. So now we've got a different kind of scenario. We're going to think of two numbers that multiply together to give you 36. Okay, I know we've got 6 times 6 is 36, but there's more numbers that go into that. And that add together to give you the 13, the coefficient of the x here. Okay, so basically with enough thought, you can, or you should have probably figured out that 9 times 4 is 36 and 9 plus 4 is 13. So 9 and 4 we're going to use, right? So what happens now is we're going to kind of split this 13x into 2 bits, right? We're going to have a 9x here plus a 4x here, okay? We've got a plus 6 at the end and a plus 6x squared at the beginning. Let's write that in, okay? Now, it doesn't really matter whether you do the 4x first and the 9x after, but it's just important to split this like this because you're going to see why in a second. At this point, we can pretty much kind of put square brackets here and square brackets here. What we're now going to do is factorize these square brackets separately. So if we look at 6x squared plus 9x, we can pull out a 3 and we can pull out an x, okay? And then we have inside here 2x, because 2x times 3x is 6x squared. And then we have plus 3, because 3 times 3x is 9x, okay? And the same can be done on the right. So we got now plus, we can pull out a 2, okay? So we pull out a 2, and then we have 2 times 2x gives you 4x, and 2 times 3 gives you 6, okay? Now, funny enough, in this particular scenario, you've probably noticed that you've got 2x plus 3 here and 2x plus 3 here, right? So what happens is we kind of group that into kind of 2x plus 3 for one of our brackets. And then our other bracket will just basically be this 3x and this plus 2 combined. So we'll just put another bracket here and we'll have 3x plus 2. And funny enough, that is our answer. That would work. If we expand this, it will give us what we started with up here. 6x squared plus 13x plus 6. Now, where I say that this gets a bit more complicated is when you're dealing with negative numbers, because you have to just be careful of them. So first step remains the same. You do 6 times negative 3 this time. You can't ignore the negative. We'll do 6 times negative 3. And 6 times negative 3 is negative 18. So we write negative 18 here. And we also have the coefficient of our a be negative 7. Now we have to figure out what two numbers multiply together to give you negative 18 and add or subtract together to give you negative 7. Now, obviously, I'm quite familiar with these type of questions, so I can just tell by looking. But if not, I would suggest looking at all the factors of 18 and figuring out how you would add them together and manipulate them to give you minus 7. But just to save on time, Two numbers that multiply together to give you minus 18 and add or subtract together to give you minus 7 are minus 9 times 2 and minus 9 plus 2. So minus 9 and 2 are the two numbers or the two values we're going to be looking at here in this question, okay? Because minus 9 times 2 is minus 18 and minus 9 plus 2 is minus 7. So again, similar to what we did before, we split this up into two. So we'll have minus 9a plus 2a. Now, in this particular question, I will actually switch these two around because I've noticed quite quickly that 2a and minus 3 would not really factorize nicely for me. So I will switch these two around for this particular example, okay? So I will now have 6a squared plus 2a. So 6a squared plus 2a minus 9a minus 3, okay? Now put the brackets in here and here, square brackets, and then we'll factorize. So if we factorize this, we can pull out a 2 and an a, and then we'll have 3a, because 3a times 2a is 6a squared, and then we'll have plus 1. And then on the second one, I'll pull out a minus 3, and then we'll have 3a here, and then we'll have plus 1, because minus 3 times plus 1 will give you minus 3. Right, so now all we have to do is kind of combine these. So these brackets are the same. So this will be one of our brackets. And then we'll combine the 2a and the minus 3. So our whole answer becomes, in one bracket we'll have 2a minus 3. And then the other bracket will have 3a plus 1, right? It's supposed to be an a. Yeah, and that's the answer.